And we are live for another episode of Fuck You Money with Yo and Ty. This is Yo. I'm here with Ty.
What's her name?
What's going on, man? Talk to me.
That ain't shit. Cooler.
Where we at?
We in San Fran.
San Fran. Tell people where we at before we got here. For this episode, what we doing?
Oh, we was at Disneyland.
We was at Disneyland.
So we was at Disneyland, aka LaRussell backyard, watching his pay what you want live show in his backyard, which I don't know, probably about 150 people. He called it Disneyland.
Now, if you never heard of LaRussell, I feel like you should definitely look up LaRussell. One of the most talented young artists coming up right now. He's not just a good musician, a great rapper, but his business mind is something that seems to be exceptional in the music business right now. To have a show in your backyard, the house he grew up in, trapped it out, and this is his third show, and they've been selling out every time, 150, 200 people. When you see artists moving like that, does that inspire you?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I first spoke with LaRussell on Instagram. I want to say like June 2018, he reached out just to get information. You know what I mean? He just reached out to get information. And then I was like multitasking a lot of shit. I would answer certain questions, but he just stayed tapping in, asking questions. And was able to utilize what he was learning in real time, information people was giving him, other support from people like, Hovain, Charlemagne, Wallow, supporting the freestyles. Obviously, he got a really, really system how he do content. And I haven't really seen a lot of rappers take that type of pride in the way that they put together their content strategy. So he's definitely calling plays.
Calling plays. Talk about this episode title, Calling Plays.
I think that if you want to be successful with getting you some fuck you money, you definitely got to learn how to call plays. Like, well, first of all, unless your partner own a company or something and you got some really great like stock benefits that you about to get, you're not gonna get too much fuck you money. It takes a very important process in life to understand how to like move money around and when to invest and like getting information from other people who are kind of making more money than you. So that, if y'all investing in the same things, even if they making more money than you and you're investing less than they are, you're still positioning yourself to be in a better place. Which is in essence like, you calling the plays or you really listening to the coach. Right. A lot of these niggas don't listen to a coach, especially artists.
Now, you say the first person to really invest in you, that tends to be a person that's in a position where they can give advice, someone you should listen to. But what makes a good coach in terms of business?
Knowing what the product is that a person is trying to sell, right? Knowing what their weaknesses are by listening to them describe themselves. And most people lean towards their strengths. So if you're coaching somebody, you got to be able to look at their business, eyeball their business and be like, oh, okay, I see, like, you're making a lot of money with this particular product. But 70-80% of the money that comes to your business comes through this one product. That's a very, very volatile business. I want to invest into that. You got to learn how to diversify. And that's a weakness that a person will have that they probably think is a strength because they just look at it like, I'm making money. And so a great coach will be able to tell you like, yeah, making money is great, but making money across the diverse products is way more stable and has long-term effectiveness by that way. But just having one product that's making you all your money, it makes it a different type of ball game. That's why artists that are signed to major labels are like really great investments, because once the music is making a certain amount of money, the record label is going to be able to idolize that and make money off of that. But the artist's not really seeing none of that money. So they're forced to go and make their touring business a driving revenue for them. So their touring business is their cash cow. The music sales is the record label's cash cow. And then from the touring and the record label business doing well, now by default and by indirectly your merchandise business start growing. Then all of a sudden you get, brand opportunities. So you start to see like this 25, this 2020, 15, 10, 5, like this really scaled out and balanced ecosystem. And so like with independent artists, they don't really have that because they're too privileged. So when you're making all your money off music and you don't have to leave your house, you're not thinking about diversifying. You just like, I ain't gotta leave my house. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, you should be leaving your house because your business actually isn't healthy. Because it's volatile, because it's only one stream, it's only one product that's bringing in the lion's share of the money. If anything happens with that product, your entire shit sinks. It's almost like pandemic again.
Yeah, we saw that with COVID, right? With the live music streams. When that revenue stream stopped.
That revenue stream up stopped.
Well, no, I won't say stop, but
live performance.
Yes, when it was altered, you couldn't just hit the road the way you wanted to. Venues were closed. We were adjusting to the pandemic. Artists had to scramble to figure out how they were gonna make money.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
But that wasn't something that you guys went through with Culture.
Yeah.
Because you guys had built revenue around streaming. Now tell me about making that play, right? Deciding that, okay, let's build streaming as a major revenue for us so we don't have to rely just strictly on performing.
Well, that wasn't on purpose. Like that was, it wasn't something where I'm like, I don't want to rely on touring. It's like, I just knew I dealt with a nigga that didn't like to tour. So why am I going to build a business around? That's just me knowing how to build a business around a person's strengths and weaknesses. Like, I'm not going to build a touring business around a nigga that don't like to tour. Because then when they don't want to tour, the business sinks.
But as a coach, though, I wouldn't say it's common sense, because if you perceive that touring is how you make money, I don't care if you don't like doing it, that's how we're going to get paid.
No, not necessarily. Like, if a person is creating a pair of shoes and you put the shoes on, you're like, you know what? These shoes are comfortable until I have to run. Then I'm not going to promote the shoe like it's a fucking running shoe.
That makes sense.
It's as simple as that. So if a motherfucker, it don't matter if we know that you can make money touring, you need to do it. That's why I specifically said independent artists. Independent artists, you niggas is too fucking free. Major labels make you diversify your business. So when people are like, oh, I need to go sign to a major label because I'm gonna be a big artist. No, they make you diversify your business because they take something away from you. You gotta take something away from these dumbass niggas for them to realize, let me diversify my business. But when you're independent, that ain't the case. Nothing is taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like your streams of income. So when you see one thing working, instead of you being like, let me get another business to match this, you say, oh, well, I can be lazy. Rather you don't mean to be lazy. You just say, oh, the thing that I care the most about is the music and it's making me money. But when a motherfucker is independent and they identify, I need my music sales, my touring revenue, and my merchandise sales to almost be third, or 25, 25, 25. Then that last 25% is broken down between brand deals, features, like just shit that you can just, influencer checks you may get, whatever the case may be. But like a good coach will say, yo, motherfucker, like you're independent. You have to diversify all your business. Fuck that, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Now, how you go about diversifying them is a different way. But you need to make sure your touring, your music sales, your merchandise, that they're like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to be 70% of all the money you bring in is from fucking music sales only. Because that means that anything can happen. Nobody ever thought the pandemic would happen. Nobody would ever be able to tour. That's never happened in history. But you can be on the cusp of creating the first company in your family's entire existence that can be foundational seed money for wealth building. And then some shit happens. And next thing you know, this shit crashed because you only got one primary stream of income. It's stupid. That's fuck. When you know business.
Talk to me about When did you realize that you had to be a coach?
I mean, playing sports, you're always like coaching if you are a leader. If you're a leader, you're gonna have to coach.
Mm.
If you don't want to coach, then you might not be the best leader. Even because sometimes people gravitate towards leadership because of what it personifies. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with being a leader, you have to coach. Because if you're not coaching and a leader, you're gonna like your shit's not gonna be successful, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
In your opinion.
Yeah.
But as a coach, though, in business, when do you realize, okay, I'm in this position, I'm a leader, I'm a coach, delegation? How do you know what roles need to be filled and what to outsource for people to do versus what you feel like as a coach you need to do to keep the business going?
I think it's really more so based around, your core team members, right? Once you identify your core team members, the core team members are the people that like are dedicated towards the mission of the company being bigger, right? And if you got two people that are like super creative and they got a little bit of business sense, then you got two more people that are strictly like super business. And then you got a person that's a hybrid that's really sharp on business and they're really sharp on creative, right? They could lean either way. Based on the team, then you identify what your weaknesses are. But you got to be honest with your team members about like what is actually their weakness and their strengths. And most people don't like to talk about their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? But you're able to figure out hiring based on the performance of your current team. So if your current team is like knocking everything out of the ballpark, you may be hiring to support them, but you may not be hiring to fill a role. More so if they're hitting out of the ballpark, except for this one division. Like right now in our business, our merchandise business is not doing well. So I'm telling my business partner, I need to hire somebody full time to deal with the merchandise business because that's a multi-million-dollar business if it's built right. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. That's just what it is. That's not a passive hire. Like a assistant. Assistant, you can hire an assistant. Somebody that's not good when you first hire them, they can kind of grow into it. But if you had to hire that same person who was assistant and you want to put them in overseeing like your merch business, that's like hiring somebody with no experience to run a Foot Locker.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So It's like it's a real thing. So now I'm like, no, fuck that. We need to hire somebody. We need to find an experienced person. This ain't nobody I don't want to be coaching them. This is not a role for that. There are roles that you got to groom and groom assistants or groom, young talent. You taking a risk and you taking a bet on them. But then there's some roles that are full departments that needs to be held and hemmed by somebody that's an expert. Simple as that.
That makes absolute sense. So when you hired or when you were seeking Jane Andrews out, what role were you trying to fill in culture?
I was just
pretty early.
Yeah, I was just trying to find somebody that can resemble me. That was a woman.
That was a woman, right?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about a particular role. I just knew that it had to be somebody that wore multiple hats. Sometimes that's beneficial, and sometimes, those type of hires are not where it needs to be at. You know what I'm saying? But for that specific time, for that specific need, I knew that in the ground level, you wouldn't have a lot of money to hire a bunch of people. So you got to have multiple people that can wear multiple hats.
Right. And usually early on, that's very important to find somebody not like you, but who can wear multiple hats, can do multiple things, can help carry the business.
Yeah, any business is going to have people that can multitask in the early stage.
Assistant coach.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
1,000%.
So you get your assistant coach, got players, right? People that's definitely out there making plays. And we talk about making plays. What is a play to you?
Position yourself by action to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say, I want to have a better jump shot, that means that making a play is getting with a shooting coach to get a better form or getting up 1,000 shots a day. You know what I'm saying? People think making plays solely deals with money. Hiring somebody that's exceptional is a play. That indirectly affects the growth of your business. You know what I mean? So you want to make plays that's going to help elevate and grow your business. And creating art is a business, period. It don't matter if it's a song, if it's a painting, if it's a graphic design, if it's photography, it's a business. And if you're not operating it as if you are a provider of that product to a market, then that shit's just a hobby. And hobbies are cool. They're making new money, but they're cool.
We were talking about Jordan earlier, and I asked you, why did you think the Jordan shoe had the longevity that it has had? What did you say?
I say that, the Jordan brand has the longevity that it has because fans get to wear a legacy on their feet. Like, legacy always gonna sell. That's why people still like sampling Aaliyah or, trying to impersonate Michael Jackson or, wearing Kobe Bryant. Like if you have a legacy brand, that shit is like lottery.
And that's pretty much the long-term play, right? To build a legacy that can stand the test of time, but also that people want to imitate, people want to remember, people want to wear. And I think that you talked about artists not seeing themselves as shoes earlier. I really like that metaphor.
Yeah. See, the reason why I'm like 1 foot in and 1 foot out on working with artists is because I look at the landscape of the music business today, and breaking through in the landscape of the music business today, rather you sign with a major label or you're doing it in a boutique style, it's work. It's way more work than it took in the early 90s and the 80s, because there was really real gatekeepers that people was plucked and a lot of resources were put into them to develop, to get these different aspects of things. Today, you can put a song out tomorrow. Tonight. You know what I'm saying? And so with that type of change, it created a lot more opportunities for people of different walks of life to be able to be in the music business. Mm-hmm. But it also made it so competitive. So now I'm getting to the point in my age with whatever career that I want to build is that I'm not spending no more time on motherfuckers that don't understand that they fucking content providers. If you're not producing content every day on your social medias to drive people to your product, then what the fuck we doing? Everybody is not gonna get a TikTok viral moment. It's not gonna happen. There's gonna be more artists that's gonna see success that's doing what LaRussell is doing versus waiting for their Lil Nas X moment on fucking TikTok. You know what I'm saying? You have more control. You have more control when you're saying, I got a song out, I got a phone, I got social media, I got Wi-Fi, I got friends. I live a life every day, whatever, even if it's the same thing over and over again. And I'm gonna create content 3, 4, 5 times a day across all of the platforms that I have fans on. And it's gonna drive them to the product that I have that's for sale. Rather that's merchandise, rather that's a tour, rather that's a song, rather that's you just did a brand deal with a spirit company and they're paying you money because they think that you can drive, you know what I'm saying, shit to a thing. I saw this article pop up about this influencer that started a brand. And they had 2 million followers and they couldn't sell 36 t-shirts. Right? That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. But it's a very loud example about, this ain't about how many followers you have. This is about how engaged people are, what story you're telling through your content development. I've had my clients tell me, like, yo, you need to post on TikTok. Yo, I don't know how to TikTok. Motherfucker, you know how to IG story. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. I'm TikTok. I'm like, man, I'm gonna start answering y'all niggas phone calls. That's what's gonna happen. Because we're not in the 80s and the 90s anymore. We're not in the 2000s. This is a new way of how artists are breaking. Mm-hmm. So when you start looking at the artists and how they are impacting the market, they're going about it in different ways. The ones that are winning, that are seeing things go in their favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're being very, very creative. They're being very like forward thinking in how they see their overall business. And the ones that just want to go in the studio and make music and think that they management is just gonna like make them a fucking star, make them some money, I don't even want them motherfuckers around me. Because it's changing. Like, the business has changed foundationally to a more technology driven business. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not waking up every day being like, all right, boom, I got product in the market, I'm marketing it, promoting it. I got product in the market, I'm marketing it, I'm promoting it. I got a year, I got to get some product in the market this year, you know? And I'm not belittling anybody who is struggling to make art because of whatever their reasons are, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just speaking the facts about being successful.
Yeah.
Like,
not even just successful to play in the game, right? We're talking about coaching and playing. It's almost like two leagues, right?
Yeah.
You got your JV, you got your varsity, then you got the nationals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're trying to go to the NBA. You don't just walk into the gym and be on the Bulls or be on the Lakers. You got to kind of work your way up. And I think that even though TikTok is not the Lil Nas X rally for everybody, there's still space where you can cultivate a fan base.
Yes.
An audience.
Yes. If you start doing ads, you start creating content, day in the life content, photography, short form content between YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, like that stuff makes money. Like, it's, like you talking about your favorite Crocs, or you talking about, one thing I think Crook's doing, like how to rap, like all of these content. There's so much education people are trying to pull from the internet that, ad revenues will pay you money for that. That stuff grows over time. It's just like putting out songs, you know what I'm saying? So it's a stream of income that a lot of artists are not taking full advantage of. You know what I mean? Because of whatever their reasoning is.
Well, probably because you don't really know when it's going to actually be successful.
You don't know when nothing's going to actually be successful.
That's absolutely true. But again, when you're producing things on a day-by-day basis or a week-by-week basis, and you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel, what are you believing in?
Well, that means you need to go get a fucking job. Because if you're doing something you love, you do it for free. So if I'm telling you, you're passionate about this, right? Yeah, I'm passionate about it. And you're hearing people being like, okay, cool. If you're passionate about writing as a journalist, find something to write about every day and put it out. It can be anything. It can be a paragraph long, whatever. It's the media, find somebody to put it out. Remember I did and I don't consider myself a journalist or author. I don't give a fuck how many books I write. I don't consider myself that because I respect the people that really, truly embody that and work on it every single day. I don't do that. Every now and then I have some shit I want to say and I'll say it. Right?
Yeah.
And so like with the platform Mirrors on the blockchain platform, I think I got like 3 collectors on an article that I wrote about why wellness.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I'm like, oh shit. I look back up. I'm like, oh shit. I didn't even know 3 people have collected it because it turns into an NFT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Turns your writing into an NFT. But like, these are just things that I'm like, I'm passionate about wellness. That's something that I work on every day. And so that article more so was speaking about wellness, not me being a journalist.
Absolutely.
Or author. It was somebody speaking about, well, why this wellness club is so important to you. Why you want to do this, why you want to do that. So a lot of these different concepts for what I'm thinking about when it comes to like what artists and what people I want to work with, it's like, you passionate about something, work on it every day. And don't be bullshitting talking about, oh, I write every day, or I think about it. No, what is the action every day? Are you writing notes? Because you can even create content about, these are the goals that I had today.
Right.
I'm going to actually showcase it. Because when you put it out there, it's almost like you're speaking it and people are reliving it. People are speaking it for you. So if you're just like, I'm just going to post my goals daily on social media. That's one content. Then I got a song out. I'm going to post about my song that I got out once a day. That's 2 pieces of content. Then the song got lyrics. I'm going to actually sing my favorite lyric from the song once a day. That's 3 pieces of content. It's not hard. So when people don't want to do something that isn't hard, they're not that passionate about it. We're not talking about things that are hard. Like, it's not.
I hear you. I think what is hard is getting out your own way.
No, people are too consumed with being cool. Being broke is not cool.
No, it's not.
Working a job you don't give a fuck about or you don't care about is not cool. People think if they post too much on their own platforms that they're spamming people. No, I'm not saying go and spam people. I'm saying it's your platform. Post on your platform. These are what we're called is like calling plays. You know, when you are calling plays, these plays have to be called over and over and over again to actually be successful. You don't call one play and win the game.
No, you don't.
In no sport. You have to call plays over and over and over again. And then when you see that this one play is working, you focus on that one play and you develop multiple plays off of that dynamic or how that play is put together. Different formations. Same play, but different formations. Some motherfuckers be thinking that they just put out some music and talk about it once. And then boom. Whoa, magic happened. It don't matter who you the fuck you signed to. That shit not happening like that.
Right.
You know, so that's why major label artists are more successful today than independent artists, because major labels take something away from you. And it makes you diversify your business. Being independent doesn't make you diversify your business. It actually makes you fucking lazy if you don't have a motor on your own. The nigga that we watched today,
yeah,
he got a motor.
He probably got 2 motors.
Probably 3.
Horsepower.
We watching this motherfucker, got a bouncy house. Motherfucker, they got a buffet, they cooking food.
His dad was cooking chicken, they had mac and cheese.
Yes. You walk around the corner, they got the sound guy in the booth, they got the bleachers and shit.
DJ, guy came out with the violin, had the keyboardist.
They had the balloons and shit.
I mean, that's the thing, you remember everything you saw.
They was passing out weed and bags.
Had multiple businesses working.
And everybody had on Crocs.
Everybody had on Crocs.
So I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, they operate some different shit over here.
They knew the uniform.
What?
And I like the fact that they had multiple camera people on stage.
Walking around niggas the circuit.
I couldn't even shoot. I had too many heads in my way. So again, I'm seeing this operation, and it's so interesting because it's in his backyard. It's not like
no.
It's not like he went to the Staples Center
No,
or he went, you know what I'm saying, to some big venue where they got the line wrapped around the building. Like, we saw people walking up, coming into his home, and it's so comfortable.
Yes, 1,000%.
He came out there and he's performing.
I ain't never seen no shit like that.
It was a first for me too.
Yeah, I ain't never seen no shit like that.
We spoke to LaRussell for a little bit before the show, and he was talking about how he didn't really have a set list. He was like, the DJ gonna play some records, then I'm gonna ask people to give suggestions, and some lady called out a song from 2018. He was like, oh, you deep in the catalog.
The fact of the matter, he even remembered the lyrics from a song from 2018. I mean, the thought process is when you talking to an artist and they're like, "Nigga, you see this shit? I'm building Disneyland. Got kids, cooking food. Ain't no set list. He said last time I performed for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then I let the fans pick the songs. You wanna know why that's dangerous? Cause niggas don't be knowing all their lyrics. So the niggas like, I'm gonna let the fans pick the song for these next 4 songs. He's very confident that he's gonna know what the fuck they're talking about. What song they're talking about. Cause you talking about 100 songs that they may call out.
Anything.
I
remember a couple years ago when Tyler did his carnival, he would bring Kanye out and he would ask him to perform something like late registration. Kanye doesn't know the words. Tyler knows the words. And it's just not being ready. But LaRussell seemed like he born ready.
Yeah, when you rehearse your show set. It's dangerous as a motherfucker walking out that bitch talking about, boy, it ain't no set list.
Man, people think because you wrote the song, you recorded the song, you put the song out there, that sticks with you.
Fuck no.
For the rest of your life.
That nigga said, ain't no set list. I'm like, woo. And that lady definitely called out a song that he dropped in 2018.
Also, no back vocals. He's not playing the track.
No, he's not karaoke.
No,
That nigga ain't out there on no karaoke.
And it makes you want to invest in LaRussell. Let me
Bro,
say,
listen.
seeing all of that today was about as inspiring as you can
Artists can be business owners, bro. The fact of the matter is these motherfuckers are lazy. There's a large percentage of artists that just don't want to get a real job.
I mean, making music is a fun way of making money.
Yeah, it's a fun way, a fun ass excuse to be like, I want to get a real job. And people are so successful at it, nobody's gonna question you. But there's a large number of niggas that be like, man, this music shit seems way more easier than getting a real job. In actuality, the work ethic that you have to have, because when you sign with anybody, yourself, Def Jam, Interscope, you gotta work. The work does not escape nobody. It doesn't escape nobody, bro. That is the issue. Niggas think just because they go sign with somebody that got some fucking money, they don't gotta work no more. It's the wildest shit to me.
And the idea is that this machine is just going to make it happen for you.
Bro, no. Fuck no. Labels sign 100 to 200 artists a year.
How many work?
How many work? You know how many work? Less than 5%. Yes. And I'm not talking about all major labels. I'm talking about between Universal Music Group gonna sign 100, Sony gonna sign 100, Warner Music gonna sign 100 minimum. That's not counting the niggas they signed the year before.
Who is still working.
But you gotta work, man. No motherfuckers is signing, but every year a new budget open. So every year they got another shot at trying to find somebody that's gonna work. Cause they want somebody that's gonna work. Them motherfuckers is it was like 2 A&Rs at the show today.
Yeah.
Yes. Them niggas want a nigga like that. Cause they know, oh, this nigga gonna work. He's not gonna work. I'm coming to this nigga's house. Got all these are fans. These are not innocent bystanders.
Oh, those were fans.
Yes, those are fans.
One moment that's gonna stick with me is the little girl that he gave the microphone.
Yes, 1,000%.
Who was at the LA show.
Yep.
Who came, I don't know where them people were from.
No, bro. Don't know what none of folks. You know them. No.
And it felt like it could have been the neighborhood folks, but it was much deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen, man. I'm a fan of any artist that's like innovative in how they approach doing their music. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of artists who haven't figured it out in Web 2, and then next thing you know, they start moving around in Web 3. Now they start selling merchandise, they start selling the shit in crypto and blockchain and all those different things. And next thing you know, they making their money that way. I'm just a fan of any creative person that's willing to work hard. And being in the studio recording songs is not working hard.
It's work.
It's work. And you can work hard in that fucking aspect of it. But it's like, I can be the hardest working shoemaker it is. If I'm not willing to go out and market the same shoes that I'm making, like, that's what has to happen when nobody gives a fuck about the shoe. When it's working, everybody want to help you. Brother, you're not going to have no shortage of people trying to help you when it's working. But when that shit is not working, you got to work. And if you can get into the behavior and the habit of working even when it's working, then you'll be fine. But motherfuckers don't want to work. I remember one of my partners that worked with Luda. He was telling me a story about how he was doing the A&R shit. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, Luda is sending him an email telling him the things that he's already did and the day just started. Made him feel like, nigga, I need to get on my job. Like, this nigga is already he already done checked off 5 things on his to-do list. That you're like, oh shit. And then it makes everybody around the artist work harder. Because traditionally, artists are lazy niggas that be on drugs. When you run across an artist that want to work hard, that's not lazy, that don't do drugs, everybody around them wants to be like, Beyonce's not Beyonce just by chance. You know what I'm saying? It's just not by chance. She's a different type of motherfucker. Same with Kanye West. Like, these niggas are not who they became by chance. These motherfuckers work differently. And if you talk to enough people around them, they'll be like, yeah, they should be different. That's a different type of person. Obviously, everybody ain't gonna be Beyonce, but everybody has the ability to work hard for something that they say that they're passionate and they believe in. Something this very thing that can potentially change your entire bloodline forever. I don't get it. Nigga think I got about 5 kids where I work.
I would think you had like 6 kids.
Definitely got no kids. I need all the checks.
I need all the checks.
You're not gonna show me a world and a life that I can have, and then I'm gonna get lazy. Fuck no. I was just telling Jane, I was like, niggas will have an anxiety attack trying to keep up my travel schedule. I've been like 6 cities the last like 8. I travel way more than anybody I work with.
I never know where you are. Never.
So I'm like, I don't even let Vanessa book my flights. I'm like, yo, just book everybody else's flights. Cause I don't know where the fuck I be coming from. And it's like, I'm on a mission. Like I'm not trying to be presented with opportunity and then get complacent or get lazy just because one thing is working. I can't stand when people like Brent Fire-ass manager. Yo, fuck y'all. I don't manage that nigga. That's why people be like, I don't talk to him about features. I don't talk to him about nothing. Whatever he want to talk, he'll call me. I don't talk to him about no features or none of that shit. Don't hit me about that shit. I have business partners. He's one of them. Because it gets lost on people like, yo, bro, I move around more than everybody. Because I am on a mission to build multiple things. I'm not just worried about one thing being successful and being happy with that shit. That's never going to work for me.
Is there a play that you currently will like, if I can be remembered for one play that I made, what's that play?
Really the cultural playbook, bro. That's my biggest play. My biggest play, like I was talking with Wallow and he was talking about the book and he pulled up everything we need to know about the music business. He said, I read that book and it was too complex for me. He said, as I'm reading this, the first page, I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to try to apply this. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest play is the culture playbook.
And you called that too. You said you wanted the book to be simple enough for an 8th grader to read it.
Yes.
I didn't understand that at first.
Yes.
Because when I think about business, when I think about those business books, I always felt like they were, I wouldn't call them complex, but I feel like they were for people who wanted to apply. But that's the same reason why people wouldn't read them.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're trying to go over my head.
Yeah.
From the jump, you're trying to go over my head.
1,000%.
Versus, and that's why I'm excited for people to read the book because I believe it's a book you can read.
Yeah.
It's not something that you're not going to be able to get. It's not something that you're not going to be able to understand. And then it's a book.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got, 12 chapters, 10 chapters?
12
chapters. Then you got, I'm not going to spoil the book for people, but the book will be on sale. You want to announce that?
Yeah, it's going on sale August 24th. The pre-orders for everything, the book, the merchandise, everything is on the 15th of August. We'll be sending it out to like the community app. Everybody, they got the numbers and the social medias and all those different type of things once it's live. But the book is officially dropping on August 24th.
And with that said, what is the takeaway you want people to get from the book?
It's that if you have a roadmap, you can be successful. And the roadmap don't cost you a lot of money, but it definitely costs you a lot of blood equity. You know what I'm saying? It costs a lot of sweat equity. It don't cost a lot of money, but it definitely costs you a lot of time and a lot of equity and a lot of like sweat because there's no escaping the work. This book is meant to give people the most easiest way, the least harsh way to say you're not going to be successful unless you work. That's why it starts off talking about discipline. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you first open it, the most important thing on the journey, no matter who you do business with, is your discipline. Because discipline directly correlates to how hard you're working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing about this shit for me when it comes to like, what's my biggest play? Like, it's this playbook.
I hear that. Now, outside of yourself, is there someone who has made a play in the music business you're like, that's the play I'm trying to top?
Hove, nigga. Hove and Rich Paul. Definitely trying to top both of them plays.
I feel that. I feel like I was thinking about Jay and Steve Stout And Style came in and he secured that Reebok deal for Jay. Not only was that a play for Jay, it was a play for Reebok.
1,000%.
I also think that makes a great playmaker. You're not just going to affect one person. You can affect the entire industry if you make the right play.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, one of the biggest things that this playbook is the beginning of is nobody better than me with this independent shit. Not today. Maybe when it was no limit and cash, but when it comes to like being independent today, ain't nobody better than me. Niggas gonna have to come see me. Then the book is gonna show them. Like, it ain't even gonna be nothing I'm gonna brag about. Like, the book is gonna show niggas like, okay, I get what this book is saying because it's simple, but I gotta go hear it out of bruh mouth because it's gonna feel like it's too easy. It's gonna feel like it's too good to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda. I feel you. I think the opposite. I do think they still gotta come see you, but it's gonna be because it's not as easy as they think it is.
Yeah, I mean the level of work and information, and I'm not lost upon the favor that that hit my life. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I can't write in a book. Like, you gotta have some level of like good karma, bad karma, and those different things. Those things I believe in. But I believe in, if you're out here trying to help service one another, the information in this particular book will help you on top of your natural favor and the grace that you have over your life and the journey that you're walking on. You know what I'm saying? And if you're walking in your passion and in your purpose, then shit will unfold for you, and it will unfold at a alarming rate when you're working really hard at it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in for this episode of Fuck You Money. Speak to you next week.